Fit for a King is a lifestyle show. I'm James Blonde, and in this season, filmed over 12 months, we visit the Okanagan Valley in British Columbia, Canada.
I'm Lisa Kilgore, registered holistic nutritionist. I want to change the way you look at food and healthy living. In this series, we talk about and cook real food. We take it back 60 years, back to single ingredient, delicious, healthy, nutritious, natural food. We follow an organic farmer throughout his growing season. We source natural organic meats from a local butcher, and we expand our palates with our wine educator.
We also explore the lakes, rivers, mountains, and the desert areas. I'm not a chef, but I love to cook. In this series, we encourage you to spend more time preparing and enjoying your food. Within this region, there are over 200 wineries. We'll show you exactly what it takes to produce world-class wines. All right, in this episode of Fit for a King, we're going to be looking at Pinot Grigio, or Pinot Gris if you prefer. We'll be talking with our wine educator, Garrett Van Steldenin. He's going to be telling us exactly why Pinot Grigio thrives in this area, and why it continues to win awards around the world. And we'll be going for a hike up a geologically unique area formed from volcanic rock, known as Layer Cake.
We'll be talking to Jordan, our local organic farmer, about the cost of buying organic. And we'll be enjoying a gorgeous, healthy, easy meal on the beach.
I know. It's a tough job, but someone has to do it. Someone has to bring you this show all about wine, all about food, all about getting outside and enjoying life. When I'm not out there making noise, jumping around, what I am doing is exercising and eating well, craving my food. And what we want to do is bring you a little piece of my world and of Lisa's world and show you what we do for a healthy lifestyle. We have this in our backyard. Why not take advantage of it?
I'm Lisa Kilgore. I'm a nutritionist and a researcher, and I'm going to show you easy ways to incorporate healthy whole foods into your diet and lifestyle.
"15 years ago, wine was a risky thing here. It was something that people did that were, on the edge. Europeans coming here, growing grapes and making wine in their garages. And, fast forward, we've become a world-class wine destination, and truly something inspiring not only for us locally, but for the globe to discover."
So Garrett, you're a wine broker or a wine pimp.
Yes, yeah, you bet, James.
How long have you been doing that, and why do you do it?
I do it for the love of the game, for the love of the wine.
And this is your terroir. I mean, this is your stomping ground, as it were.
This is truly my terroir because this is where I grew up. It's a fantastic place and has a real dynamic of weather. It's a day like today where it's 36 degrees out and we get winter and we get -10, -20, ice wine and all that. And I think that to me is what makes this place so great, is the diversity.
A couple of weeks ago, you had the opportunity to head up to Grey Monk in the north central Okanagan. How was that for you?
Oh, really exciting to sit down with George and Trudy and to get reacquainted with their involvement in the history of the BC wine industry. Your name of the winery is named after Pinot Gris, is it not?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes it is.
Can you give us the short skinning of that?
In Austria, where I come from, close to the Hungarian border, it's called Grauer Mönch or Grey Monk.
Oh,
So that's one of the first grape varieties we imported from Europe when we first planted here. So we're the original importers of Pinot Gris into Canada. That was 1976 was the first planting.
And now, Pinot Gris has surpassed Chardonnay in plantings.
Yeah, about 2008, there was no big announcement, but
No.
I think somewhere in 2008, we as an industry planted more Pinot Gris than Chardonnay,
Yeah.
which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it is
that
the variety for this area, and it does like a little bit cooler summers rather than the really hot ones. But then most of the varieties we grow here are cool climate varieties anyway, and they do actually develop better in the bottle, not having super hot years.
This year we had 81,000 cases.
81,000 cases.
17,000 is Pinot Gris.
Yeah.
You produce more Pinot Gris than a lot of the wineries in British Columbia,
Yes.
their entire production.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
But it took how many years?
I'm going to start with 30 and then maybe we'll add a number, but a good
Yeah.
30 plus years there
Yeah.
to do that, and that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Not too long ago, Lisa and I were flown up to Exon-Hilo as well. Instead of taking the old Vespa in there, they sent us a helicopter, which was awesome. Talk us through Pinot Gris.
Well, first and foremost, Pinot Gris, it's all about the grapefruit. Fresh, sort of white grapefruit characteristics right through to the luscious pink grapefruit and everything in between. You can see tones of apple and tropical notes of melon and there's just a whole kaleidoscope of flavors that come through in Pinot Gris. And I think that's why people really like and enjoy Pinot Gris, is the complexity of flavor that it can bring to. Now, of course, every Pinot Gris has its own character and its own personality. So I can't tell you what every Pinot Gris is going to taste like, but I can give you little tidbits and hints as to where it might go.
With a Pinot Gris, is there anything smell-wise we should be looking for?
Well, to me, the most important thing about a wine is the smell. Smell is where all the wonderful romance and flavor comes out in a wine. So swirling the wine, getting a good integration of air. What I love about this wine is it smells as if somebody's ripping apart a pink grapefruit. So you're getting almost the sourness of the pith of the skin, and then you're getting the acidity, the freshness of the acidity of the fruit, and then the sweetness coming through as well.
What are your suggestions for preparing a meal that we're going to put together to go with a Pinot Gris?
Pinot Gris is absolutely fantastic with salmon. It's one of those
wild salmon.
Absolutely, one of those through and through West Coast experiences, both with Pinot Gris and salmon. Complementing that, asparagus. It's that time of year. It grows really well here. Fresh herbs, dill, sweet basil, a little bit of oregano, even rosemary is going to tie nicely into the landscape of the fruitiness of the Pinot Gris and the richness of the salmon. And the end result is you're going to get quite a kaleidoscope of flavor.
We need to exercise. There is no way around it. You need to get up and move every single day, at least half an hour a day. There is no device, nothing, no pill, no miracle, anything that you can substitute actual physical exercise with. And that is it. We're going to explain to you exactly why. Before you go running up or down a mountain, it's well worth making sure that you have the appropriate footwear on. It'll save your face in the long run. So I'd talk to an expert first.
I would suggest something like this, the Double Track.
Okay.
If you really want to travel really fast and really light, this is a good option as well. Really stable, still a lot of cushioning to it, and just really lightweight. A nice option that you also get in the shoe here is they call it the snake plate underneath, and it's this green area you see in here. And that's actually a plate underneath that kind of weaves its way through. So it does protect any rocks from hitting you on the bottom, but it still offers flexibility on the shoe.
Cool. That's probably the shoe to rip around the mountains, I guess.
For sure, yeah.
You want to join us on the mountain?
Sure.
Good stuff.
Today we're climbing up Layer Cake, a local volcanic formation. Each layer is about 10 to 15 feet high. It's unique on this planet. There was no trail or path up it, so we just scrambled straight up on the loose shale. It was hot, sunny, and dusty.
Not everybody has this in their backyard.
But for all of us, our bodies want to move, and exercise is a significant part of a healthy lifestyle. But the first thing I want you to do before even thinking about adding exercise to your lifestyle is think about your energy level. If 10 was the most energetic you have ever been, where would you rate your energy today, right now? Think about that for a minute. If you're thinking it's 1, 2, or 3, you're not at a place to exercise yet. The first thing I want you to do is bring more vibrant foods into your diet so your body has the energy to move. So tomorrow, I want you to change one piece of processed food in your diet for something healthy, a fruit or a vegetable. And then a few days later, try another one until your energy gets up to a 5 or a 6. So here's an example. Instead of a can of pop, have an apple. And I know what you're thinking, I'm a nutritionist. Of course I'm going to give you an apple. Just try it for 3 or 4 days, and what you'll see is a big return in energy. And then you'll crave that apple, and the next change will be even easier. Studies have found that tired brains crave junk food. All of us, when we're tired, we crave junk food. And so this first step is a bit of mind over matter. But trust me, it won't take long until you're thinking, oh, you know what? My energy's at a 4, now it's at a 5, now it's at a 6. Now that your energy's at a 5 or a 6, or if it's already there, now it's time to exercise. Get out and spend at least 30 minutes exercising every day. And what you'll find is that creates more energy in your body. And over the course of a few weeks, you now have your energy at a 7, 8, or 9 level. And now you can accomplish so much more in your day and you feel amazing.
This should give you some idea of just how steep this really is. Look, just get outside and get active. Start with something easy so you can enjoy yourself and you're safe. Work your way up and push yourself. And Lisa's probably going to tell you, bring an apple. Let's face it, every single day we're faced with millions and millions of dollars in advertising campaigns, marketing campaigns, trying to tell us what's good for us. High fiber, low fat, know this, know that, you need this is the latest trend, and whatever it might be you need to eat. We don't. We need simple, healthy, wholesome food. One of the cool things about living outside of a big city is that you get to know where your food actually comes from. I recommend visiting a farmer's market, regardless of where you live. Talk to the farmers, shake the hand that feeds you. Don't be shy, ask the farmer for some of their recipes. And only buy food that you're actually going to use. Let's get some tips and advice from our local farmer.
Often when I have conversations with people about the high cost of locally produced food or organic food, I hear quite a bit, from people. I would love to buy more organic food, but I can't afford it, and I have trouble with that. I don't think it's so much for most of us, and not all of us, but most of us. For most of us, it's not that we can't afford it, it's that we won't afford it. It just comes down to priorities. And I sure as heck don't want to be moralistic about things. I always try to avoid doing things like, well, you should be prioritizing organic food, because everyone should just make up their own mind. At least use the right language. It's not that you can't afford it. You can afford $5 pints once or twice or 3 times a week, pints of beer, but not to pay extra for your food. And I wish we'd all just be honest about it is all, If you're not gonna make that a priority, just acknowledge that you're not making it a priority. It's not that you can't afford it. I mean, we have hundreds of buying choices each week that we have to differentiate between, and food often falls pretty low down on the list for people, and it just doesn't have to.
Cool, so today it's Pinot Gris. Pinot Grigio, depending where you're from. Garrett recommended wild salmon. Now, is there any advantage to wild salmon over
Farm salmon? Actually, there's quite a lot. The difference on how they're raised actually it makes a difference in the nutritional value. Wild is much higher in the omega-3s, whereas farmed is higher in the inflammatory omega-6s, as well as farm salmon is very high in PCBs and mercury. In general, I don't recommend people eating farm salmon, at least not regularly. Once every few months, okay. More than that, it can be a problem.
That's severe. Oh. So we've got some asparagus. Something really simple to do with asparagus is breaking off the woody ends. They snap wherever they snap. There's no point in cutting it. Each one's different. You simply break off the end that you get, chuck it away, or throw it in the compost. Okay.
Can I tell you an interesting fact about asparagus?
Yes, please.
Asparagus is in season every spring. And every spring is also mosquito season. And mosquitoes pop up at the same time asparagus pops up. And asparagus is also very high in B vitamins. And it's B vitamins that create a natural repellent to mosquitoes. So when we eat asparagus, which is the in-season vegetable, one of the in-season vegetables early spring, we also get natural mosquito repellent.
Is that where a pea smells funny?
No, it's a different thing altogether.
Cool, okay, the way we cook asparagus is dead simple and absolutely delicious. Goes beautifully with wild salmon as well. We're gonna get this little thing fired up right here. So about a medium heat, sort of a 5 or 6 kind of thing. Throw olive oil in the pan, I should say. Quite a bit, like that. And all we're gonna need is sea salt. Really, really simple. A good pinch of sea salt right on there.
And this makes the best asparagus around. I make this all the time and everybody asks, what did you do to this? This is it. It's nothing.
Simple, simple, simple.
Simple, simple.
If you enjoy the taste of asparagus, a lot of people will pour heavy sauce or something on it and you kind of dilute the taste, you lose a lot of the flavor. Whereas for me, or for us anyway, the taste of the asparagus itself is absolutely delicious and it goes beautifully with the wild salmon.
So we're gonna let this saute. How long do you usually normally?
It really depends on the size of them, I find, and probably how fresh they are as well. You kind of know they'll just start to go limp, they'll just start to break down a little bit, and then you know they're just perfect. But you're probably, you can time it, you're probably looking at 4 to 5 minutes on a medium heat. So we're about 4 or 5 minutes into these. They're just starting to brown, just starting to soften up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add our piece of salmon now right into the pot. Dead simple. Once again, I've turned it down a little bit, so we're kind of low to medium as opposed to just medium. Add a little bit more oil. This is olive oil, not extra virgin, straight up olive oil.
Extra virgin olive oil is a wonderful health-promoting oil. It's full of omega-9s and chlorophyll, and it's that green chlorophyll color that doesn't handle heat. So when we cook, we use regular olive oil. It's paler in color and can handle up to a medium heat.
Look at the color of this. This is the difference. One of the differences between wild salmon and farm salmon. You can tell by the color immediately. This is much darker, much pinker, rosier, I guess, darker. I'm going to throw the skin side up just for a couple of seconds, just to sear that one side, and then I'll season it once it's up, once that's done. And all I'm going to do is sea salt and some fresh ground black pepper. And that, I know it smells delicious too. I'm going to put a little bit of lemon juice on there. And a little bit on the asparagus isn't going to hurt either. Make sure that's not sticking, that's doing beautifully. Yeah, you can see the asparagus is starting to sort of soften up a little bit. It's not quite as rigid as it was. That looks absolutely delicious. You can see that. And it's a gorgeous day. What are we, Easter weekend, I guess?
Yep.
So we're about 5 minutes into that salmon cooking there, and that is looking and smelling just delicious right the way through. Absolutely gorgeous. The asparagus is sort of soft enough now, a little bouncy, starting to wilt a little bit, I guess you could say. Looking just beautiful. What I like to do now is put some butter, and this is butter, nothing else but salted butter, right on top of both.
Butter, glorious butter. It's a favorite food of mine. And a little known fact is that it's an essential saturated fat. In grass-fed organic butter, you'll find butyric acid, which helps with the structure of your cells. As well, you'll find CLA, or conjugated linolenic acid, which has been shown that it might reduce the fat around our waist.
I'll give you a couple of plates.
Okay.
If you don't mind holding that. I'm just going to chop this in half. About like that. And just look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
So good. The whole meal, start to finish, 15 minutes, and absolutely incredible.
And some of the best part, never waste it, is all that butter and oil and flavor and delicious stuff out of the bottom of the pan. Look at that. Let's dig in, shall we? Cheers. Try this at home. Regardless of how advanced you think we are, we can use computers, we can fly to other planets, we can drive cool cars, we can communicate. We are still very, very simple. We need to eat, we need to sleep, we need to drink, we need to exercise, and we need sunlight. You can't get around those basic, simple things. Don't even try. This part of the world has 4 well-defined seasons, a year-round playground. In the next episode, we'll be looking at ice wine. We had the opportunity to crush grapes in the freezing cold.
We'll visit with Claudette, a local beekeeper, who, with her decades of experience, will talk to us about the health of and caring for bees. And we'll learn about the health benefits of locally produced honey. Today we're at Zip Zone Adventure Park to go zip lining on the highest zip line in North America. And I'll be talking about stress. Whether it's a busy lifestyle or a fight or flight situation, it all affects our digestion, health, and well-being.
We're going to be baking with healthy, natural alternatives to sugar. It's going to be sweet.
We'll be talking about diabetes as well as minor blood sugar ups and downs we feel daily. If you feel emotional when hungry or just crave sugary foods, watch the next episode to learn some tips to keep your blood sugar steady all day.
For more info and recipes, check out fitforaking.co.